What is up, guys and girls? Hurricane Liz here, back for another Walmart video. And in this video, we're going to talk about how Walmart just terminated a record number of stores. We're going to talk about why that happened and what's next. Is it still a good idea to have a Walmart store? All that and a heck of a lot more. So I'm super fired up. I hope you are. Let's do this. All right, so probably the biggest question that I'm getting lately is it still good to get a Walmart store? And I'm definitely gonna jump into that at the end of this video. But first, I'm gonna talk about how Walmart just suspended and then terminated a record number of stores. We're gonna talk about why this happened recently and in general, how suspensions typically work. So that's where we're gonna start. Now let's talk about the main reason why you will get suspended, whether you sell on Walmart, on Amazon, or even on Facebook. And that main reason is either one, there could be suspicious login, suspicious activity on the account, or potential fraud that they catch early on. And this can happen in any type of account where you do have a password and a login. And or the second biggest factor is that your metrics fall out of place. Now, what is out of place? They usually have a guideline on the site that shows you what your metrics should be at when they are in place. But recently, Walmart was just suspending for the heck of it. There was a lot of people that reported that their metrics were on or above point, and guess what? They still were suspended. I seen people that had tracking rates that were as high as 100% still see those suspensions. So why did this happen? Well, there really is no rhyme or reason that this happened, at least to the common eye. The real reason why this happened might actually shock you, but we're going to go over that right now. Number one, that is because Walmart was taking a page out of Amazon's book, which is once a year, Amazon will usually become extremely stringent on accounts. And guess what they'll do? They'll purge accounts that aren't that great. And what I mean by that is they'll purge accounts and get rid of accounts that don't have numbers that are as good as they should be. Even if they're just above the right metrics, they'll just get rid of those accounts, particularly coming into the Christmas holiday. And this is largely because during Christmas, they want the absolute best sellers with the best metrics out there selling goods and making sure that their customers get products on time and within the right timelines in order for their customers to receive presents for Christmas. That's extremely important to them. Imagine if this didn't happen, then you'd have a lot of really pissed off customers that were cursing Amazon, and they might go to Walmart or vice versa. Now, the second biggest reason this is happening right now, and like I said, it might not be apparent to the naked eye, but that's kind of why I help you guys out by talking about this. That is the current supply issues, the supply chain issues in the world. Now, if you haven't seen the news, it's not just the news you have to watch, but it can be very clear if you regularly shop in stores. Shelves are empty as hell, and that is primarily because we've got all these containers stuck on boats out in Long Beach and just stuck out in random places, just floating across the ocean with no intention of coming in. And a lot of people are blaming Biden for this. I don't really know the reason behind this. Obviously, it's easiest to blame him as he's in charge of the whole United States. But clearly, there's an issue, and clearly, there's going to be a lot of shit that does not get here in time for Christmas, which equals out to angry customers. So the reason that Walmart has decided to terminate a lot of these stores instead of suspending them is because they understand that many of these stores are drop shipping. Now, they just did not go after drop shipping stores. So it's important to understand that. They randomly went after all types of stores, not just drop shipping stores. And the reason that I know this is because I've read many of your emails, and a lot of people that got suspended and then terminated later are people that did not even have drop shipping stores. They were people that were fulfilling their own products from valid distributors and or drop shipping their own products that were in their own warehouse. So it's important to understand that this was not just specifically targeting drop shippers, because that's important for what you're going to do in the future. Now, if you guys remember, a long time ago, I did discuss that this would become a problem, and this was back in July, and that is primarily because Amazon already had a full calendar. They were booked up completely, and you could not arrange to have a container come into Amazon as far back as July. And the other reason that we knew ahead of time that this was going to be a problem come Christmas time is the fact that containers now cost an astounding almost $18,000 to bring in a single 40-foot container, when in the past, they've been able to come in as cheap as anywhere between $2,500 to $3,500. So if you think about the amount of increase there and the total cost that it takes to bring in a container. It's astounding, but it also shows that there is just a problem with the supply chain. So this was clearly visible back as far as July. Now, one last thing I wanted to mention about containers before we move forward is that in the past, it usually took containers about 21 days on the water in order to make it to the USA. But now they're talking about months. The earliest projections is that the supply chain will be fixed on or around Christmas time. But I truly believe that we are looking more at like early 2022, possibly mid 2022, before things get back to normal. So what's next if that's the case? Well, still expect delays, as I said, as early as 2022, possibly mid 2022, and costs also to remain very high. Now, there will also be a huge shortage come Christmas. So whatever is available out there, the price of that will probably gradually rise up. Now, we're not talking about price gouging because remember, Amazon and Walmart both have policies in place to make sure that nobody gets price gouged, but you will see an increase in the overall cost of goods. Now, what should you do if you have a store? Well, if you do have a store and it's still running, then it seems like you have weathered the storm. These suspensions and terminations have happened randomly for the past few weeks, and any store at one point that was suspended instantly became terminated about 2 weeks ago. So if you weathered the storm, congratulations, you're still going to be up and running and selling on Walmart. I don't see them doing anything else right now, as it looks like everybody who has survived has weathered the storm. And so what should you do if you want a store? I would recommend that, yes, it is still a good opportunity to jump into, but you should sit tight, relax. If you've already signed on with a service provider, then they're not going to try and push your store through because that would burn your LLC. Most of stores that were applied to in the past couple months were declined because Walmart just randomly decided to stop accepting brand new sellers. So sit tight. In the next month to month and a half, Walmart will once again begin allowing brand new sellers on as soon as they see that issues have been fixed with the supply chain, which means that if you invested in a store already, just be patient, be calm. You will get the store up and running, and it's best that you do sit tight and wait in order for that store to start up. Now, what happens if you want to invest in a store you just haven't already? Again, I would recommend that you sit tight for about a month to 2 months and wait until the supply issue seems to be fixed. Once again, you'll see that Walmart will begin allowing people on the platform and you'll be able to sell. The Walmart opportunity by no means is over. It's only just the beginning. And if you don't regularly watch my videos, you'll know that a while back I did predict this would happen, and I also predicted that a lot of people would just give up, throw in the towel, and quit wanting to do this business model. And I also predicted that a lot of service providers would do the same thing. Now, you might be one of those people that quit. If you did, I'm sorry it didn't work out. However, I did mention to people that things like this would happen, and those that adapted and evolved would be the ones that got the biggest reward. So now is the time to adapt and evolve. Make sure you're teamed up with somebody that is doing that and you made it. You'll see that pretty soon the skies will clear up and it'll be back to clear sailing. So questions in your comments, post them below. I always personally answer those, and I'll see you guys next time.